Good morning. So we're gonna attempt this today for coffee talk. See the bunny over there? She's looking at him and shaking. And it's kind of fitting because I'm gonna keep talking about relationships and how to talk to girls, women. I don't know. I can tell you how people talk to me. And I had an interesting experience this morning on the trail with this homeless guy who I saw yesterday on the trail that I walk. And I saw him this morning as well. So he stopped me and asked me if I had a lighter. And I don't smoke, I don't have a lighter. But I told him maybe he should like hang around the parking lot and he'll find somebody with a lighter. And then we somehow got to talking and walking together for a little bit. And it was really interesting because I didn't get a bad, scary vibe from him or anything. And we had a very open and honest conversation. He was telling me about being homeless, and last night it rained a bunch, so I was like, where did you sleep? You know, just out of plain curiosity. And he shared with me that his family was really mean to him, so he left, and that's why he's homeless. And he told me he smokes pot, and he's an alcoholic, and I know what medication he's on, and how he gets a check from the government. But then we also talked about his passions, and how he loves to draw, and he showed me one of his drawings, and how he wants to be a tattoo artist, but how much schooling and money and everything else it entails because he's researched it. And we also talked a little bit about, just life in general, and how sometimes, the people that are your family are not the kindest and the greatest to you, but at the same time, it's your responsibility to become the person that you want to be, and you do not have to be defined by what other people assume that you are, or tell you that you are, or they want you to be. So I gave him a little bit of life coaching advice and told him to write a list of what he wants to be as a person, what qualities he wants to possess. One is pulling this way, the other one that way. Where he sees himself living, where he sees himself doing, and stick to that. And he shared with me that he really didn't want to smoke that much anymore. And he asked me if I smoke, and I said no, I don't, and I have never smoked in my life because I told him that I love myself and I love my body and I want to stay healthy. And not that there's anything against people that smoke or drink, but for me this does not fit in my idea of a healthy lifestyle. So I choose to not do it for myself. And then, I know his star sign, he's a Gemini. He asked me when it's my birthday. And we just had this very open and honest sharing. So my whole point about it is that he wasn't looking to have a relationship with me. We were just two people that talked for a little bit, that have completely different backgrounds and completely different lifestyles, but we're able to share on a basic human level and not be so concerned, I'm this, you're that, I'm this, and have those divisions and barriers. But it's kind of oh, hey, human being, let's see what you're all about. And when a person doesn't have an agenda, but is just talking to you out of pure curiosity, and when they're being honest, to me that's what I appreciate in people in general. He told me about all of his faults, and he's aware of them. He openly admits them. Whereas so many people that try to get together with somebody, they will only present their like, put your best foot forward, like only like your good qualities, and then a little by little, if you happen to like start a relationship with that person, all of their shadow comes out. And sometimes, not to um, speak mean about people, sometimes people do not want to admit these things to themselves. It is that bad. They're not honest with themselves and not so self-aware, and they think like, oh, I don't have like a alcohol addiction or drug problem. I just like to drink from time to time, and from time to time it's like every night. It's like, oh, okay, so that's not an addiction, right? Or like, oh yeah, like, let's say porn. That's another big one. Uh, I love you, like I want to be with you, but at the same time, I have to like look at these pictures and videos of other women constantly because it's helping me distract myself from the things in my life that I don't choose to address, and the difficult feelings I'm still experiencing, and my childhood trauma that I haven't like uh, resolved for myself and accepted and done something about. So anyway, what I want to say is that I think it's beautiful that in relationships, if we can be honest, and it starts when we develop a good relationship with ourselves, and we start being honest with ourselves about all the great things about us and all the things that are not so great, and then we start working on the things that are not so great. And when we meet another person that we like, we can simply have open and honest conversations with them and begin with a friendship, and to get to know them and for them to get to know us. And when we are in that space of being securely attached to ourselves and accepting ourselves with all that we are, we're not so concerned about, will the other person like me? I have to do everything possible for them to like me. But we are focused on like, okay, the more I get to know that person, do I like them? And is this somebody that I want to spend more time with and give them more of my attention and energy? And also, if while getting to know them, we uncover something about ourselves that we're like, oh, like there's this thing about myself that I do that I'm not so proud of and I don't like so much, but I actually want to change it. And you can see like that person is really good at that thing that you want to change and they have mastered it. You can get inspired and you can even like ask them like, how did you do that? So to me, this is what relationships are all about. And also, like if we're in that space of loving and accepting ourselves just the way we are, we're not afraid of rejection. And rejection is not like the worst thing that has happened, but when you see like, okay, maybe there isn't enough compatibility, or like the things this person is currently working on or interested in, I've already gone through this phase in my life, and now I'm interested in other things, and I'd rather spend more time with people who are interested in those same things, and I have more alignment. And you can still be grateful for being enriched by the communication with that person and wish them all the best, like I did this morning with Bill, the homeless guy. And in the end I told him like, just you can be whoever you want to be. Good luck with everything. And I think he was gonna look for a job. And then I was like, okay, I have to go now, bye. And he was like, okay, bye. And that was it. And maybe I'll run into him again, and maybe not. But if I do, there's no expectation that I need to have a conversation with him again. I could just say hi because I know him. Or if I feel like talking to him more, I can talk to him more. And if he wants to talk to me, And it's just, it could be that simple of appreciating communication for the sake of communication and not trying to fit the other person into a story or like have them fulfill a need for us, and being very open and honest about where we are, who we are, what we want. uh, and having genuine interest in the other person as they really are, and not as some fantasy that we build and create for themselves. And also, I feel like the biggest thing with approaching people would be that fear of what if they reject me. But when you love yourself, if they reject you, don't take it personal. It's kind of like, okay, for whatever reason, maybe this person is not like in the space of making new friends or being in a relationship or engaging with people, or there's something about me that uh, it's just not their thing. And I feel, especially with attraction, it's such a tricky thing, at least for me. I don't know about men, but it's like some people can be wonderful and I'm not attracted to them, and other people can be not so wonderful and I'm attracted to them, or sometimes like it's like they're wonderful and I'm attracted to them, but it's something that is either there or it's not there, and you cannot force it to happen. So I don't think it should ever be taken personally that somebody that you're attracted to is not attracted to you, because it's just like life, it's normal. And if this person is not attracted to you, there'll be another person that's attracted to you, that you're attracted to. So just keep moving along and talking to people for the sake of experiencing the richness of life, because we're constantly in a relationship with everything. And it's so enriching and fascinating.